Hi, my name's Jay Heinrich. I'm from Blackwell, Oklahoma. I've only been there a year, so moved up here from Texas. And I do three-dimensional leather art. I am the only person that I know of that is doing three-dimensional leather art at this level, fine art level. There are some people that are doing one-off, but it's one of the rarest art forms in the country. And I learned, I was a corporate executive. I couldn't even hold a paintbrush or a pencil or anything else until I had open heart surgery. And suddenly, after my open heart surgery, I got this lightning bolt that got me interested in art. And I was looking for something to do during my rehab. And I got into leather work, doing notebooks and things like that. And there was a fellow who created this art process whose name is Rob Barr. Rob was a Sioux Indian out of Bismarck, and he put on a class in Dallas. And I took the one class, and then I've been self-taught from there. We did a very small buffalo head during that class, and I got captured by the process and captured by the work that I saw that he could do. And my ambition was to become somewhere near as good as Rob. So I started self-teaching, and Rob and I struck up a friendship, even though we were long distance one. After that class, and we conversed on the phone and things and collaborated on a number of pieces. And then unfortunately, he died at the age of 43. He was a heart transplant recipient, and he passed, and so then I was on my own. And I just kept biting off one more level of difficulty with my pieces. And today, all my work has been, well, not all, 90% of my work has been North American big game animals or North American birds, the types of birds. And then this year, I've always liked a water buffalo, and I decided to do a water buffalo, so I did that. And that's the first of the animals I've done that I haven't had personal experience with. I've either hunted or been in sometimes too close a contact with these subjects, like mountain lions. I've gotten a little too close for them, and I got a little too close to a bison up in Yellowstone one time. And other than that, everything else I've had personal interaction with. And I enjoy, as I said, the process. It's time consuming. My pieces all take from 16 to 80 hours of work to complete. And you can't work on them straight through, and part of that is because of the process. In many instances, something is wet that has to dry, and that's generally the biggest thing of slowing it down, either the leather being wet, or I work in the back of my pieces, or the cavities are filled with a combination of rubber cement and leather dust that I mix together into a putty. And after I've created with my hands a cavity of the size that I want and get the stretch from the leather, I fill it with that leather dust. And then from there, I carve all the leather dust down, or the leather down to the image that I want. So all of my pieces are from the same flat piece of leather that if you happen to see pictures, there's nothing on mine that are added accoutrements other than a couple pieces I've hung some beads on, some Indian trade beads, but the rest are all in the eyes. A lot of people look at the eyes and they say, where do you buy those eyes? And I don't. It's the leather and I paint them. And so everything is off that same piece of leather, no matter how far it's embossed or how many layers or it may be. It's all one piece of leather. And my website is fineleatherartwork.com. As I said, I live over in Blackwell. My cell phone is 719-371-2558. Should you be interested in anything or want further explanations, I'd be happy to chat with anyone. Give me a call or send me an email via my website, and I'll be glad to respond. And I do commission work and of any kind. The only thing I don't do are pets, and there's a reason for that. The reason for that is you can never get Fluffy's eyes the way people think that Fluffy's eyes should look. And I am not about to get into a spat after finishing a piece with someone who thinks it doesn't look like Fluffy. So I'll be glad to do a cat, but don't ask me to do specifically Fluffy. But other than that, I do pretty much anything that you can take a photograph of, see in a book, see in a magazine. I can pretty much do any image that you want. It may take me a while to figure out how to do it. Like the water buffalo, I had never done him before. And it took me a long time because one of the interesting things about the process is keeping dimensionality. And you have to have the right dimensions. If an animal has a head turned, what's the dimension of the horn? How do you keep that correct? And the water buffalo is 5 different planes of dimension. And it was difficult figuring out in my mind how I was going to attack that and do it. So it's a fun process. I enjoy it, obviously, or I wouldn't be doing it. But as I said, I've never had an artful bone in my body. But now, after being self-taught for this long, I really enjoy it, and I'm still getting much better as a painter. But if you want any info, feel free to give me a shout. Thank you much.